Hello. How
Hello,
are you?
how are you? I'm good.
I'm good. I'm better now.
Oh, I think you're better. Everybody, last week what happened is stuff happens in the world, and Lisa's internet, well, I'm going to be very technical here. It went kaflooey. It just went kaflooey. And that poor girl went through hell to get here tonight and get her stuff back on track. So
Yeah.
thank you, Lisa, and good to see you, love, because my heart broke for you because you all know
Yeah.
Lisa runs an internet her business with her husband on the internet. So to be quite frank, the crap hit the fan when the
Yeah.
internet went kaflooey. So
Yeah.
I'm glad you're back. I'm glad you got that all straightened out.
And
Yeah.
tonight will be a true test that they fixed the issue.
Okay.
If I get frozen or anything like that, you got to tell me.
Well, I shut my phone off, but I'll put my phone on just in case. Hey, where'd you go? Okay, but not to worry. I don't think
Okay.
that's going to happen. You scared the crap out of those people, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
Giving them what for and all that kind of stuff like that. But it's good to
Yeah.
see you, and I'm glad things are working out.
You too. Yes.
Now, double standards.
Hey,
Hey,
Mary.
Mary. Oh, you owe me a Coke. Okay, remember that when we were kids? You used to do that. Owe me a Coke, Coke.
No,
Oh,
I
were
only
you
know
both
the
doing it at the
beach,
same time?
uh, the punch buggy blue
Punch Buggy Blue. Okay. Well,
or
no.
whatever.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
back. Okay.
Hi,
Hey,
Denise.
Denise. How you doing? Oh, owe me a Coke. Anyway, all right. Um, double standards. They're for men and women because we're not just bad mouthing men tonight. So for the guys, please pay attention that you have your double standards too on you
Yeah.
as well. But Lise, what's a double standard? What do you think a double standard is?
I'm gonna go right into it. Sex.
Oh,
Women who enjoy sex or love
uh-huh,
sex, they're
uh-huh.
looked down upon. It's a stigma.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Whereas if a man has sex often and
Mm-hmm.
enjoys it, he's
Mm-hmm.
praised.
Well, he's looked on as a stud,
Yeah.
and the women are
A
looked
woman's a
on
hoa.
as yeah, they're hoes. Hi,
Hi,
Linda.
Linda.
So up, not quite. Okay, you owe me two cokes so far, but we're gonna we'll keep up with it. Now I'm gonna be watching. But
Yeah.
sexual. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, women I think are faced with a harsher judgment when they
Absolutely.
shouldn't be.
Yeah, and that happens even when you're a little kid, that kind of stuff happens with the double standards. And then,
Mhm.
you go through elementary, high school, and all that other kind of stuff. And God forbid, like say if somebody, like you said, well, actually in high school they were exploring with their sexuality and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
if a girl gets a bad reputation, that can follow her because of the double standards, because the guys are looked on as studs and the girls are looked
Yeah.
on as loose or whatever you want to call it. But there's
Even if they've had been with the same amount of people. So if
yes,
men are with, let's say, 8 women
yes,
and women are with 8 men over a
yes,
course of however long,
uh huh,
the women automatically, I feel, are judged. Tell me I'm wrong.
absolutely. No,
Everybody chime in. Chime in. I want
no,
to hear your thoughts on this.
not at all, not at all. I think you're absolutely right. But there are so many double standards aside from the sex. I mean, which is major because everything. There's so many double standards that are applied to women. I'll give you an example. I go to speak to a mechanic. Okay, I go to speak to a mechanic. Something's wrong with my car, and they start going blah 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 blah, blah. And I'm looking at them like, buddy, you might as well be speaking Greek to me. And one day I got really annoyed because he's saying, well, this, blah, 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 this. And I'm like, what the heck are you talking about? So anyway, I said, okay, I'm going to give you a little example of how I'm seeing this. I said, I'm a makeup artist. So I used to be a makeup artist. I used to own a hair salon way back when. And I said, what do you do? Do you apply primer first or do you moisturize? And then do you use a matte foundation or do you use a liquid foundation? And then after that, do you let it dry? Do you use a brush and do you use a sponge? So I went on and on and on and on. And then he's like, okay, I understand. I said, yes, you understand. So now let's
Yeah.
take a step back because I feel like a lot of times Do you feel this way whenever you see um whenever a mechanic or oh my god, no offense to mechanics, okay, don't start up with me, but say um all right, give me some examples. A mechanic,
That's a really good one.
yeah, but I feel like they see me coming with dope on my head,
They
and they,
see they see a woman.
yeah,
It's a bottom line. They see a woman and they feel that they could take advantage, but maybe
yeah,
they don't know. Like my cousin Vinny, what's a face? Like
I
she
love her.
knew all
Yeah,
about cars. Like,
how's attraction?
yep.
Good, yes.
Um,
Hmm.
I feel that there's a double standard in divorce when it comes down to
Oh,
children in the household, husband and wife. It's the norm, and
okay.
I have experience in this. This is
Go
why I'm
ahead.
bringing it up. It is the norm for the husband to up and leave.
Yeah.
It's the norm. But
Uh-huh.
in a situation, a family situation where maybe it's in the best interest or it's a better choice or there is a decision made by the couple that
Hmm.
the mom or the wife leaves,
Hmm. Okay.
everybody loses their mind. Everybody loses their mind
Well,
because
mom,
that's not the norm. So that's a society double standard.
here's why. Because women are looked upon as the caregivers. They're expected to to be at home and take care of everybody, even when it's decided that this would be better right now if if the children stayed with the dad, and
Yeah.
went and did what I had to do. But women are expected to be the caregivers, and if a woman leaves, and this, she's
Yep.
looked upon as the
Yep.
bad guy,
Yep.
which isn't fair, you know. But
Absolutely.
yes, but
Mona Lisa Vito. That's right.
yes. And Denise says computer repair people. Absolutely. I'm such a loser with that. I mean, everybody, Lisa takes care of everything. I just show up and say, hey. I don't do any of it
Well,
because
five minutes before the show, I was having a little bit of a heart attack, but we won't talk about that.
no, we're not going to talk about that. No. But there's double standards with physical appearance. I mean,
Mhm.
I was told years and years ago, oh, if you lost weight, and for those of you who know me, my weight goes woo, 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 just what my life. But the thing
Yeah.
is I was told, oh my gosh, you'd be so pretty if you lost weight. Well, and I
Somebody
thought,
said that?
yeah, mhm, somebody did say that. Yeah. And I thought, well, thanks. I guess, I'm the back of a horse's ass right now, but whatever. I mean,
Oh my
seriously.
god, that's terrible.
Yeah, somebody did say that to me. And it was like, nice. But anyway, women are judged by their physical appearance.
Mhm.
And Lisa, now you've had 3 kids. Were you
Well,
expected to
4.
lose 4,
4.
sorry, 4 kids, I beg your pardon, 4 kids. Were you expected to lose that weight right away and go back to your pre-baby weight? And were you shamed if you didn't lose that weight the way you were supposed to lose that weight? Because, you were mom shamed.
No,
Is
I
that what?
mean, if not by family and friends, not to my face, do I feel that some of them said things behind my back? I do. I
Hmm.
really do.
Okay.
But I remember being pregnant probably with the last one and walking through a parking lot after leaving a restaurant with my then husband, and
Hmm.
I was heavy. Like I had the last 3 back to back. So
Hmm.
I at birth I was 194. I was 194 pounds. I'm only 4'11. So
Oh,
I
wow, you're a
mean,
little
yeah,
girl.
I was big.
Yeah.
But I remember walking through the parking lot and I was round. I got pregnant everywhere. I didn't just have a belly. I was pregnant in my face, my
Uh-huh.
arms, my legs, everywhere. And I
Okay.
remember a stranger yelling from across the parking lot to my then husband saying, "Oh, I guess you like 'em big."
Uh,
So I was shamed by a stranger, so to
oh my
speak,
God.
like
Okay.
right there in front of me. Yeah.
But my question is, why is it okay for men to be fat? It's okay for a man to be fat, but a woman can't be fat. Now, I hate that word fat, but it's changing where body
Mm,
acceptance is like, okay, I ain't ever going to be a size 2, and I'm okay with
yeah.
that. But the thing is there's a double standard there that men
Yeah.
are considered still attractive if they've got chunka of weight. But a woman, she's looked down upon like she's slovenly, she's
Is she
lazy,
looked
she's
down
dumb.
upon by society,
Yes,
people, friends, family, or the
yes.
spouse or the partner?
But
Is
I'd
the
say
spouse or the
all across the
partner?
board. I'd say all across the board. All
I
across
mean,
the
not
board.
that anyone is right or wrong. I mean, that's
No.
all terrible. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah.
But like, I gained weight.
Hmm.
I'll tell you, I'm 50 and I'm like right in menopause. It's terrible. Like nobody's business. I've gained weight.
Hmm.
Um, Danny's like, ah, it's more of you to love.
We love him. And
More of you to
Mary,
love.
hey, I listen. One time I was dating a guy and he goes, "Oh, you should work on your stomach." I skewered him like you wouldn't believe. I'm like, "Really? Really?" And I have a relatively flat stomach. I got chunkamunka legs, but I got a relatively flat stomach. I was like, "Really?" Ooh. I
My
gave it to him.
firstborn, I was I mean, I was tiny, tiny. I was probably like 105 pounds when I gave birth. No, I was
Dead.
105 pounds when I got pregnant. When I gave birth, I was like 130 something.
Okay.
And he was a C-section. And I
Hmm.
never like that, the way they did the C-section, it's not,
Yeah.
I don't think, I mean, he's going to be 35, so figure 35 years ago. It's not like it used to be. Like I I think they messed up when they did my C-section.
No,
So
they
I
cut
had
through the muscle. Yeah.
right. And I didn't really recover. Like I always had that little bit of flab. Like I never got
You
completely
think it.
flat after. And
Okay,
I remember being asked by somebody on an intimate relationship time. I remember them saying, my mom had kids and she has a flat stomach. Like basically what's
why
wrong with my
do
stomach?
okay, but my question is why do men think they can get away with which with saying stuff like that to women? And Mary says, look at all the drug commercials, all towards women, which is very, very true. All large women, which is very, very true. All the Ozempic, the Manjaro, the
Well, most of these men don't even freaking realize half of them probably are a little heavy because they're stressed out and they're eating because of them.
well, it could be. It could be. But all right. I want to do some double standards for men, okay? Because we're talking about women right now. I got a bunch for men. I've got even
Okay.
more. Okay. Um, there's a double standard for men that if a man is emotionally sensitive, like talking about their feelings,
Yeah.
sometimes you kind of give him a side eye, like, okay, like you kind of think that's a little weird, okay? Because we expect men, double standard, to be
To be
strong
strong.
and stoic
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff. And if a man is, Mary used to reply, when you wake up in the morning, look like Brad Pitt, then call and talk to me. I love you, Mary. Thank you very much. Yeah, absolutely. But if you look at a man who's broke, if a woman who's broke, you might feel a little sorry for her, like aw, which is a double standard. But if a guy who's broke,
What's
irresponsible,
wrong with them? Yeah.
yeah, exactly, that's a double standard. Um, if a man is bullied physically, you kind of live in the side eye. That's, well, didn't you stand up for yourself? And there's that. So there's a
Mm.
lot of stuff. There's more. Um, People need to tell dads that they're a great father when they're the caregiver. Where the mother is expected to be the caregiver, does a mother get a praise for, like, oh, you're doing such a good job. Oh, look, you took the baby for a walk. But if you see a dad, this is the stroller. You see the dad, walking with the stroller. You're like, oh,
Mm.
that's really great, because they're expected double standard to be the to be the provider provider.
Yeah.
So there's so many double standards, and this is what society, this is how they make you feel. But what do you think about that? Okay.
Okay. With the dad with the stroller, I
Yeah.
I could see that. Like everybody's like,
Okay.
"Oh, he's with his child. He's taking care of his child." I don't know.
Sure.
I mean, I think that's it,
Okay.
I think it's wrong for people to be that way, to think that way. Like the
Sure.
dad should do equally what the mom is doing, changing diapers, going for walks, feeding, cleaning up, bath time, all of it.
Yeah.
It should just be
Okay.
the norm. It really should be.
Absolutely. Hmm.
Now, do they do it as much as maybe the mom does? Probably not, unless
Okay.
they're a stay-at-home dad. I follow,
Hmm.
by the way, I follow a stay-at-home dad, Joey Fu. He is funny. I love watching him. He's hysterical. His wife is a full-time worker. She's like a nurse or something like that. And
But
I
they're
he's
but they're looked upon. That's looked upon as like, you know,
he
that
says that.
is.
Yep, and he says that as like cuz he'll just he he's a star. You have to like follow him. Joey Foo, Foo.
Okay.
He's on Facebook, he's on Instagram or whatever. And he talks about that. How like, you basically you let your wife go to work full time and you do nothing. Like you just stay at home, take
Yeah.
care of the kids. But he's cooking, he's cleaning, he's taking care of the three kids. He's
Mhm.
humorous.
Mhm.
He just talks about random stuff. Like I could relate to like growing up and what life was like growing up. We're probably like close to the same age. But stay-at-home dads, they're looked at differently.
Yes,
Not
they
down, I
are.
don't want to say down upon. They're looked at differently. Like,
Well, I would say differently and sometimes down upon. How's that? Because I do think they're like, what about a guy
but
who?
if it works for the family unit, I mean, that's
Oh,
something you
absolutely.
figure the wife and the husband, they're going to have a conversation. Like, what makes the most sense, especially if the wife is making more money than he makes. It makes sense.
Absolutely. But say you're going out into a restaurant and you're meeting another couple for the first time. So what do, Brad? Well, I'm a stay-at-home dad. Oh,
Domestic engineer.
well, yes, okay, domestic engineer. But the thing is, again, you get that little bit of oh, and what about this? If a guy has zero interest in sports, he's, again, it's kind of like, oh, okay, weird. I remember,
We're a very judgy society.
yes, we
That's
are.
really comes down to. It's a
Yeah,
judginess. I think we're all guilty of it. I think it's
absolutely.
normal. I
Hmm.
think I tend to stop myself in the middle of thinking certain things. I
Yeah.
do watch, which
Hmm.
is the first step to acceptance.
Yes.
Like I
Yeah.
don't like to judge anybody. Like I to everybody to each his own. You want to be a stay-at-home dad and
Hmm.
not even have a wife and kids, have at it. Like I don't even care. Um, but I do think some of the things in our world, the double standards annoys me. It does
Yeah.
annoy me. Certain things.
Absolutely. Okay.
Just from experience, the whole divorce thing and the dynamics with that,
Hmm.
you know, you got to do what's best for you, your family, what your kids can handle, and have those conversations, and then the people on the outside world having something to say about it, they're not in your shoes. Like nobody should
Yeah.
be saying, okay, well, that's not right, or you shouldn't do that, or that's not what
Absolutely.
is the norm. Like
Hmm.
who says there's even a norm?
It's
Like
not the norm. Well, I think double standards are slowly changing, but yet we grew up with these double standards. Like you said before, like if the guy's really into sex and sleeping around, he's a stud. The girl is into sex, like Samantha Jones from Sex and the City. She
I never
was
saw
like,
that.
you never saw Sex and the City?
No.
What? What am I going to do with you? All right, Sex and the City. Samantha, there were four women, in their, when it was first came out, they were in their 30s, exploring, their relationships in the city. This one woman, Samantha Jones, she was the one that had sex when and where and with whomever she pleased. And she didn't make any bones about it, and she didn't apologize for it. And her friends did not judge her for the most part, but yet when I watched her, she was like a very liberated woman because she's like, I live my life as a man. Men can have sex with whom, whenever they want, with whoever they want. and they're not looked down upon. And she made it just, this is who I am. And there were no double standards for her. But there's, tell me about the pink tax. What's the pink tax, Lise?
So items, from what I'm understanding,
Yes,
items for women are more expensive than they are for men.
yes.
As an example, hair dye. Hair dye for a woman is going to be whatever the price is, and for men, it's going to be less expensive.
Razors. Go to CVS or Walgreens or, well, Rite Aid closed, but go to any one of those stores and see how much a woman's razor is as opposed to a man's razor. And me, I go to the dollar store and I get, a 5 pack for $1.25, and because I refuse to pay just because I have a pink razor as opposed to a black razor, like
Well, we
really.
are shaving a little bit more. We're shaving our legs, our armpits. I mean, they're just shaving their face,
No,
generally.
no, there are men that shave their chests and stuff like that, but I
I don't
mean,
know. I'm just trying to
yeah.
justify the price difference, you
No,
know?
there's no justification. No, it's razors, it's shampoo, it's um uh uh oh my gosh, now I forgot. Razor, shampoo. I gotta find this because this is gonna make me cuckoo. All right, hang on. You know I have my notes right here. All right, are you going to the pink tax thing?
I'm
You
looking
on
at
here?
now.
All right. Okay, keep looking.
Oh, did you know some states banned the pink tax? Do you know
Good.
what states?
No. Okay. Um,
California, New York, and Virginia.
way to go, New York. Okay. Um, deodorant, clothing, haircuts, dry cleaning, mortgages, and car insurance. Women are paying more than men for these necessities. How do you like that? And there's the
I
tampon tax.
can, not that I agree with the car insurance, but now I'm just going by memory from when I was growing up. Didn't they
Yeah.
back in the day, for
Yeah.
like ever ago, women are bad drivers compared to men? Is that why? That's the double standard right there. They always
That
would
is a
say,
double standard right there, sister. Yeah,
I want to
absolutely.
say that I recall that, and maybe my mother taught me. I don't know. Somebody said it.
Mhm.
I read it. Maybe I dreamt it. I have no idea.
Hi, TJ. Yes. Well, no. TJ, we went over some double standards for men. If you want to jump in, we'll go over them real quick because I'd love to hear from you. But yeah, Denise, yeah, that's the pink tax. But uh, TJ, there's,
Household chores. Household chores. The cooking, the cleaning, the childcare.
yeah, that's expected for women to be the caretakers. And when men do it, it's like, oh, you're so great to help out in the house. I just love you.
They
I just
take out
love
the
you.
garbage and they think that they cleaned the entire house. Or is that a
Yeah.
different type of show?
Yeah. There you go. I take out my garbage. Good Lord. Okay. Um, here's
Uh,
an interesting little tidbit. For medical, if women are having a heart attack, women will not do as well to recover if they have a male doctor because women have different symptoms than men. How do you like that?
hmm.
So that's interesting. But for a social life, there's the double standard of if a man flirts, it's no big deal. But if a woman flirts and a man doesn't like it, it's like, what are you doing? You know?
Oh, that's not right.
Well, yeah, but that's true. I mean, that's true. So
You
there's
can't
that.
do you can't do this and then expect, if it happens to you because now she's doing this, you can't
Yeah,
be mad if you don't expect her to be mad if you do it. Or is
there you
that
go.
tit for tat? I mean, that could be a
Absolutely.
whole nother level of it, but
Absolutely.
um, that's a double standard. If you don't like something that's done to you, but yet you do it and expect that person to be okay, frig that. Nope,
There
not
you go.
happening.
There you go. How about when you're dealing with conflict and a guy says to me, "You're so emotional, you're crazy," and it's like, and a
That's just a
guy,
deflection they're manipulating. They're trying to get the attention off them. That's narcissism. That's a different show.
okay, okay,
But
but
it's true.
but
But it's true.
it's
It
a
is a
double
double
standard.
standard. Yeah.
What do you mean? And then if the men give, men are supposed to be stoic. We expect them to just suck it up, right? So that's
Yeah.
another double standard. There's so many of them. It's almost wild. I wanted to say something about cleavage. Hi, Deb. This is really interesting. Cleavage for women is prevalent in advertisements in the media, but women breastfeeding their children in public are still told to cover up. But you see, the puppies all over the place, you
Yeah.
know, and so you wonder why about that. So I just
That
found
made
that
me
very
that
interesting.
made me just think of something. Hold on one second. Wait. What did you say? Because something
Cleavage,
important.
cleavage, advertisements,
Cleavage.
media.
Oh, so this is another one that's a double standard. So you know how like, men are, confident, strong, they get to the point, they say what they want, say what they mean, think what they want, think what they
Yeah,
mean, whatever the case may be, they'll just be direct, right?
yeah.
And
Hmm.
they're not considered jerks. But if
Hmm.
a woman is strong personality, says what she says, wants what she wants, and is just a very confident, forward person, she's considered a bitch.
That's if a woman is assertive. I mean, you're a woman in business. If you're assertive, you're considered bossy or a bitch. And if a man does it, he's considered, hey, he's on top of his game. And
Mhm.
TJ says define roles need to be undefined for equality. Absolutely, love you, TJ.
Mhm.
And Denise says women who are good at their job can be looked at as bossy. Yes.
Yep.
And Deb, yes, we did say, will a woman be ripped off faster than a man, for example, from mechanics? Yes, we discussed that. Yeah, absolutely. I go in there with, please steal from me written across my head because I don't know any of this stuff. I don't. So I usually go with a guy. Actually say, no, we're going to go and he's going to do the talking. And you know what happens? Oh, and this is what happens. Gets interesting. They will, it's my car, he'll do the talking, and I'll get ignored completely. And I'm the one paying the bill. Hmm.
No, what you should do is
Yeah,
it takes time and effort, but it would be a very interesting thing.
yeah,
You go with the car with the problem. Let the
hmm,
mechanic tell you what it is, how much it's going to be, what needs to be done.
right,
A week later, have a gentleman that you know go in with the same car, same problem, and see if
yes.
it's the same exact scenario.
I'll bet it wouldn't
We
be.
should do a show on that.
Actually, that'd be interesting. We could be like, oh God, I don't know which channel it is.
Undercover Lisa and Helen.
Oh my God, that'd be too funny. I would do it. Absolutely. We have to get a cameraman though, because we can't go in like this. Okay, we're doing this, so, but I
Yeah.
would do it. Absolutely. Um, Dad bods are okay. Mom bods are not. Dad bods are
Well,
okay.
who says dad bods are okay? Who's saying that?
Okay. All right. Listen to this. Would you date a guy? I feel like women are judged by their weight, by their appearance, but yet I've never judged any guy by their weight. 100%, 100%. And I've gone out with some chunkamunkas, and it's never bothered me. It's never bothered
I judge if you're a good person, if you're kind, or if you're just a jerk. I don't care what you look like. You could be purple, you could be pink, you could be heavy, you could be as skinny as a rail. I could care less.
me. Hmm.
If you're a jerk, I ain't gonna like you. And I'm
But
gonna let you know.
yeah, but a double standard is Jim said, who said mom bods are not what, Jim? Tell me what. Hi. But it's the person, not the profile. I love
Yep.
you, Jim. Thank you very much. Yes, absolutely. But the thing is again, it's a double standard. Okay, if you saw a chunkamunka, like a really heavy woman walking around in a bikini, what would you do? What would you do?
I would actually be like I I
Go
I'm
for
not
it.
heavy, heavy. I'd be
No,
like, wow,
heavy,
I
heavy.
wish
Heavy,
I
heavy.
could do that. I wish I could walk around with a
Why
bikini
can't
on
you? Why can't you?
because
Because you're
I'm
going to
self
be judged
I'm
and it's a double standard.
no. Well,
Yeah.
no, I don't care what other people think. I don't like the way I look in a bikini, so I
Why don't,
won't do it
okay, all right, but why don't you like the way you look? Why? Because
because I'm
you're
chunky
judging
now.
yourself. No, because
I'm
you're,
chunky now.
you're comparing yourself to what you think you should look like instead of going, okay, I'm a little chunky right now, big deal. Deb Killian says, good for her. Yes, you would be on vacation in Dominican
Oh,
Republic. Okay, all right, there's that. Okay, well, okay. But let me see. There's something else I wanted to say. Okay. Viagra is covered by insurance. Birth control is covered by some insurance companies, but chances
And
are you're getting the generic version. But I just read this a little bit before that over the counter birth control is being shipped to the United States retailers within 1 month, and it's going to be available for about $20 for a 1 month pack. So all of you who are not on in menopause, have at it.
I'm mad that
Yeah.
hormone replacement therapy is not covered by insurance.
And why is that?
That came up recently. I didn't know that until recently.
Do you know
I don't
that?
know. I want to know. Who's going to tell me? I want to know
I don't know. But
why that is.
here's another thing.
I gave
If
birth, my body changed. I have scars, blood,
well
sweat, and
earned scars,
tears.
sister. Yeah.
51 years on this earth. My body changes the most, and a man's his testosterone's going to be covered by freaking insurance. Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding. Not kidding at all.
When I go for a tubal, it's
No.
it's
Oh. Oh.
they just get a snip and put a bag of peas on and they're good to go 30 minutes later. What the heck? Don't
Listen
get me
to this.
started.
No. Now, if a man goes for a vasectomy, nobody tries to talk him out of it. But if a woman tries to get her tubes tied, they'll be like, "Are you really sure you want to do this? You sure you want to do this? Why don't you talk this over with your husband?"
That
And then,
is true. I will tell you. I will tell
okay.
you. I
Mm-hmm.
was after my last pregnancy, I wanted to they ended up finally doing it. I ended up finally getting a tubal, but because I was still young, the
Yeah.
doctor was trying to talk me out of it. I was like, "Dude, I have 4 kids. Like this is not going to happen again. Like I don't want any more. This is
Okay.
it."
Mm-hmm.
So he finally did. And
Okay.
then I had issues later on and I ended up with a hysterectomy a
Okay.
few years later. But
Okay.
it, that is true. I
Okay.
they figure because for a man, if they have a vasectomy, it could be reversed. They can go back and get it undone if they really want to because it is just a snip, fix, whatever. For a woman, once you make that decision, there's no going back. I
Oh,
mean,
okay, but shouldn't the,
scientifically, can they? Maybe they can. Maybe there's
I
medical
don't
things
know.
you can do. I don't know. But for a man, it is easier to reverse it. What are you laughing at?
TJ wrote, "I got to change insurance companies. Damn, mine doesn't cover Viagra." So, sorry, sorry,
You could
TJ.
probably get that overseas or something.
Yeah, or if you wait long enough, it'll probably be in CVS somewhere along the line. You know. Okay, there was something else I was going to say.
Maybe there's a generic brand called Viagra.
Viagra. Oh my God. Somebody's going to steal that. If they ever hear this show, somebody's going to steal that 100%.
You
Someone's
kidding?
going to.
You kidding? Last night, the I'm gonna shift gears for just a hot second. You know that Stanley Cup that survived a car wreck, fire, or whatever it was not
Yeah,
long ago, right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
like it got like big and now it's like all over the place. We're sitting last night and I swear to you, Bella, none of the dogs really have dog toys. Like they're out of that dog
Uh-huh.
toy thing. Danny's Nike slides. Okay, his Nike slides that we use like just to go outside in the back or whatever. Bella will take them. I have a video of her last night. She'll like, throw it around. She's shaking her head. She's biting on it. It has survived an English bulldog, 80-pound bulldog, playing with this thing for a year. So I looked at it. I'm like, Danny, do you notice this Nike slide like is hardly like there's no damage to it at all from her? Like she's been biting on it, chewing on it, like it's not ripped, nothing. I'm like, oh, we could be the next Stanley Cup thing. I said, I have to take a video. I'm gonna send it to Nike. How freaking funny is that?
Get a patent, sister. You never know.
You
Seriously.
never know. You never know.
Absolutely. I think Stanley Cups are way overpriced. I'm just saying. Okay. Let's see what else. What else we got here? Physical appearance,
Double
finance.
standards.
Okay. Finances. This is interesting. Hang on. That in 2020, women earned 82 cents for every dollar earned by a man. Okay, 82 cents.
Hmm.
So And I thought, well, what the hell is that about? So, oh, and women are expected to change their names when they get married. When I got married, I didn't change my name. I kept it. I didn't even add my husband's name. I just kept my name because I said, I'm 28 years old, a long time ago. I'm 28 years old. I don't have to change my name. And much to my husband's credit, he was like, okay. He didn't
Yeah.
care. He
Yeah.
was really cool about it. I do have to say that. Marriage didn't work out, so the good thing about it is I didn't have to go through all these documents to change my
Let me
name.
tell you, it's a pain in the neck. I had a hyphenated name, and just to
Yeah.
take his name off, the
Hmm.
hoops I had to go through just to do that. Probably double standard because I was a woman.
Probably. So I'll tell you, there's a lot of double standards that happen that um, sometimes you have to be made aware of them where you go,
Yeah.
oh, okay, all right, but we can change them when we become aware of them. That's that's uh, that's
Yeah.
about it. So, Lise, it's almost we did it again. We went over.
Yeah.
Yeesh! Yay! Okay.
Oh, look at that. Deb's niece had her husband take her last name.
I love that. Okay, very cool. Girl power. That's cool. All right.
I
Wow.
do love that.
Why did that happen, Deb? Can you tell us? Because that's really interesting. Because I would think a lot of men would be like, yeah, I want to change my name.
Yeah.
But that's cool.
I love my Monaco name.
I love that name actually. But Monica Ray is very cool too. But you see, Monica Ray, it kind of like la la, it kind of flows.
Yeah,
Yarrow
if
just
he had
kind
a
of
long last name, it wouldn't
yeah,
flow right. But because his last
exactly.
name is short,
Yeah. She
she's
said
the
she.
alpha.
Oh my God, she got good for her. Wow.
I love that.
I do too. Good for her. Girl power, man. That's great. Okay, let's see.
So our next show,
Yes, ma'am.
everybody,
Okay.
the
Ah,
bond breakdown. Who is more important? Is it your spouse or is it your bestie? That's going to be a
that's a
good one.
tough one. That
Yeah.
that's a tough one because as much as I don't have a spouse, but a significant other, uh, I don't know about the rest of you, but I tell my woes to my besties more than my significant other. If I
Yeah.
have a bone to pick, then I would talk to my significant other. But the besties, well, I don't tell them everything because you do have to have some um, decorum,
Secretness.
some secret. But if you
Yeah.
have a problem, yes. Hey, Jace, our producer's here. Hi, how you
Hi,
doing?
James. How are you?
Good to see you. Um, okay, so the next show is the bond breakdown. Who is more important, your spouse or your besties? And Lisa, where can we be found?
We could be found on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, Google Podcast, Pocket Cast, and Radio Public.
Hey, everybody, thanks for your comments tonight. That was really great. It was a great show. Thank you.
A lot of fun.
All
Have
right,
a
we'll
good
see you
night.
next week. Bye, everybody. Stay safe.
Bye.
Bye.